Hey everybody, welcome back to the Clinical Scoop. I'm Dan Sfera. I've got Dr. Al Jazairli on. I've got Monica Quitiva on, and we are going to be talking about 4 studies right now, and I'm going to share my screen. So let me pull up my screen here. Hopefully I'm able to do it. Let's see. Desktop 1. Let's see. Tell me if you guys can see my screen.
I can't.
Not yet.
Share. Okay, here we go. So now we're sharing it. So we got 4 studies, okay? We've got an Alzheimer's study. We've got another Alzheimer's.
All Alzheimer's.
All Alzheimer's. This is unbelievable. We're going to have a busy time talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Al, it's going to be interesting to get your take on this as an oncologist. But you definitely have more knowledge than we do on this.
No,
So
I think that the main scoop about it is like what we're gonna do about it in regard of the clinical trial, of the validity of it, and how we can work on these trials to see how. So which one are you gonna start with, Dan?
So the first one, SEMA4D blockade, safety and brain metabolic. So Monica, you pick these. Why did you pick these ones?
Yeah.
Let's go with this one first.
So this one is this one is kind of new on the clinicaltrials.gov, and it's actually not yet recruiting. So I pick it because it could be an opportunity for the principal investigators out there that have interest in this kind of studies, or for the potential doctors that have interest in Alzheimer's, to see that even though that especially this kind of therapeutic area, I mean, not therapeutic area, this condition is specific, have been having a lot of challenges with the COVID. They still have studies starting now.
So sponsor is Vaccinex, and the drug Pepinimab, and it's a phase 1 and phase 2. So this is a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, parallel group, interventional. Okay, let's see how many. 60 participants.
Yeah.
And it's starting. Okay, so these are new studies. So
yeah,
this is a new one that's going to start. Let's see. First thing I always look for is, can I contact somebody from the study?
Yes.
So let me go down.
Yes, you can. I found.
Okay.
Yeah.
So John Leonard. Okay, they'll be hearing from us soon, and they're in San Diego. So let's look at the. Dr. Al, what do you think about this type of drug? Do you know something about this one?
They're trying to do experimental study on this humanized immunoglobulin G4 monoclonal antibodies, and different dosing for the patient who Alzheimer's. The main primary endpoint of the study is to see adverse effects of the medication. So most probably this is an early study. It's a brand new medication that they're trying to see if it is effective. And then the secondary outcome measurement is the effect on the brain metabolism in Alzheimer patient, and the assessment for Alzheimer patients with cognitive scaling for them. Clinical dementia rating, and but the main goal, which is the primary outcome of the study, is effect of this immunoglobulin G4 monoclonal antibody on
treatment emergent adverse events.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have the primary outcome, secondary outcome, effects on brain metabolism. And
exactly. This is kind of.
They have common scale. These are all the common scales. The ADAS-Cog for Alzheimer's, clinical dementia rating, mini mental, activities of daily living. I've actually done most of these as a rater before. I think Monica too. Alzheimer's, NPI. So these are time-consuming rating scales. Let's see. Is there a MRI on this as well?
I think they don't have.
Yeah, so study
I think they're
protocol.
going to measure the blood for interleukin and tumor necrosis factor and T cell
Okay.
and B cell quantitative flow cytometry. Also checking the CSF for neuroinflammatory light chain on these patients.
Okay.
Interesting.
Uh, let's see the other outcome measure. Oh, they have a lumbar puncture.
Yeah, CSF. No problem.
So these are tough for patients to, these are tough to do in a study. It's very painful, and usually patients refuse to get this done, even in Alzheimer's. What are your experiences with this, Dr. Al, as far as lumbar punctures?
You know, I've been doing study for us like as with a bone marrow biopsy for some patients, which is like almost similar as lumbar puncture, but a little bit harsher, a little bit. And the patient who wants to be on the study just to try this new medication, but doesn't want to be, does not want to receive this kind of procedures, I will put them under anesthesia. I will do for them conscious sedation and will do for them the procedure. This is they don't have to feel or suffer through the procedure itself. So this is one option that I can do, but I don't think it's being done for lumbar puncture. We can give them sedation in the hospital when I want to do for CNS lymphoma, CSF studies. That's what we do, is give them some sedatives prior to the study, prior to doing the lumbar puncture, which can help in reducing the anxiety and feeling the procedure that's been done.
It includes also PET scan.
Yeah, I see it. So
For the
inclusion,
brain.
yeah, so they have, here's the inclusion criteria. Okay, informed consent, that's for every study. A reliable, so this is a common thing for Alzheimer's, is a partner for the patient. So they also call it a caregiver. It could be a family member or somebody who has face-to-face contact at least 3 days a week minimum with the patient, because they're going to be asking them, this is Alzheimer's, so it's obviously some cognitive declines. And so they're going to be asking a lot of the questions to the caregiver as well. 55 to 85, they need to have a, where is it here? Documented PET scan, amyloid PET scan, prior to the screening visit and determined as positive. And then a documented positive CSF result. And so if documentation is not available of either of these, then they're going to have to do it at screening. Okay, so they're trying to avoid having to do it if they already have a PET scan or a CSF, but oftentimes they don't in my experiences, so you're going to have to get this done at screening. There's a lot of screen failure rates also in Alzheimer's because of the PET scan oftentimes doesn't have positive amyloid. So like they have like mild to moderate Alzheimer's. Sometimes it's early onset. They don't have enough amyloids to qualify. Here they need to have evidence of cognitive impairment based on history and neuropsychological testing. So if they qualify for this part, then they're probably going to have the amyloid there, mild cognitive impairment, and then you're going to have a CDR score of 0.5 to 1.0 and an MMSE score of greater than 22, which is kind of a moderate, I think, because mild to moderate is 16 to 22, I believe. So yeah, I mean, you're probably going to screen fail a lot of mild to moderate cases of Alzheimer's. So I expect a 50% screen fail ratio from my experiences with this. So if you're an investigator looking to take on this study, you got to make sure you negotiate in your budget at least a 1-to-1 screen fail reimbursement. But you can always ask. The thing about these things is you can always ask the sponsor, what is your expected screen fail rate? they'll tell you maybe it's higher than 50. I've had some studies where the screen fail rate, I mean, me and Monica worked on them, is 90.
90%.
Yeah.
But regularly, this budget for this kind of studies are good too. So it kind of
Yeah.
compensates the amount of work.
Especially for a phase 2. Phase 1 and phase 2 is what I saw here. So this is a good study. They're only looking, let's see what they have. They're starting in September. They only have a few locations, but they only need, let's see how many patients they need.
60.
60?
Mm-hmm.
So they think they already have the sites they need for, okay, they have Georgetown, which is big. But this site in San Diego is big. They're a private site, but they're big. Georgetown is huge. Brain Matters Research, I don't know about them, but they sound big. Neuropsychiatric Research Center. So yeah, it looks like they have Indiana University, University of Kansas, Johns Hopkins, Columbia. They have a lot of sites already. So they think from these sites they can get 60 patients. And maybe they can, but it doesn't hurt to ask. If you're not in one of these locations, like maybe you're in Los Angeles, you know, they'd probably give you the opportunity. If you're in San Diego, probably not. You're competing now with one of their sites. So if you're not in one of these areas and you think you have a good chance of contributing patients, you might want to reach out to John and Alicia. And it's conveniently, their email and their phone numbers are here. Conveniently for you, not so much for them. Okay, next study. Why is this one interesting, Monica? Why you pulled this one off?
Because we participated on a lightly list study that it was kind of before this one, which was observational. And I think they were kind of accruing patients for this study, or taking a look and see if it was, if they will have enough population to get into this study. This is also a new study. It started on June 18, 2020. So I'm thinking they are going to probably need more sites too. And like you highlight there, they are looking for 500 participants. However, they have, well, for this, they have a lot of sites. But I mean, I don't know, I'm thinking that
this one, you have to click for the study locations. So see, this is what, actually this is good. Usually Eli Lilly, this is Eli Lilly. Usually Eli Lilly, I don't know if they changed this now, but I used to be on clinicaltrials.gov all the time looking for studies. So Eli Lilly used to protect these investigators' like information because they don't want a rival drug company to take their PIs. So, but now they're keeping them. So look, you can contact, if you want to start a clinic or you're an Alzheimer doctor, you're a psychiatrist doing also, or want to do Alzheimer's study, look how many doctors' phone numbers you have. Okay, it tells you who the PI is. Let's say you're in Phoenix. Okay, you get the phone number to the clinic, the PI name. You can call colleague to colleague and say, hey, I see you're doing the study. I'm interested. These are the kind of studies I'm doing. I'm in Irvine, you're in Phoenix, so we don't compete. Maybe we can share study leads. Maybe you can tell me who I need to contact for this study. Because Eli Lilly, and they have a lot of sites. Look how much networking opportunity. Look how all this networking you can do. You can spend the whole day tomorrow doing just calling people from here. Okay, so let's go all the way to, you see, this is what Eli Lilly does. Unlike the other study, which was a small study, let me show you for example. This is business development. I used to do, Dr. Al, now Monica does this a lot, but I used to do this like nonstop. Okay, see this small company, they have the director's phone number and email. Big company, Eli Lilly, has nothing. Okay, if you call this number, it takes you to a mailbox. You're not going to get anywhere. It's meant to be for patients. So this is the problem with the big sponsors. The only way you can try to find who this sponsor is you can use a tool like ZymeWire. But Eli Lilly is so big, they're probably doing like 100 Alzheimer's studies. You're not going to get a hold of whoever's doing this one. So the best thing I would do is I would call
these principal investigators?
Yeah, like I'm in California, so I would ignore California, but I would call Connecticut. And maybe not Yale. Maybe not Yale. They wouldn't help me,
University.
but like let's find like somebody I think is like me, but
MD
in
Clinic.
Florida. MD Clinical looks good because it looks like somebody small, like they're willing to talk to me. So I would call and ask for Beth, Dr. Saphirstein, and say, hey, Dr. Saphirstein, we have a similar last name. I also want to have a similar study to you. And this is how you network, but I mean, that's how you do it, guys. But for this study, what do you guys think about this? Like, what do you think about the drug, or, what do you think about these things?
I think it's a brand new medication that they're trying to, because there is a PK studies, PK measurement here on one of the requirements for the study. Sorry. Okay, and there is the main thing is to see if there is any improvement in the clinical dementia rating scale for the patient. What kind of medication exactly it is? What kind of a blocker or enhancement? I'm not sure.
Donanemab. Yeah, IV. Given
It is intravenous, yeah.
Yeah, donanemab.
But
Yeah, I
it
don't know.
sounds
Let's
as,
see. Let's Google.
no, it sounds as if it is an antibody. MAB at the end, it sounds as an antibody.
Okay, yeah, Alzheimer's 4.
Humanized IgG monoclonal antibody.
Okay, yeah. Monoclonal antibody, yep.
Yeah. When you have MAB at the end of the name, that means sound for an antibody.
Okay.
But then,
so that's interesting. Let's see what the inclusion. So CDR, this is if you're going to be doing Alzheimer's, this is like the gold standard of rating Alzheimer's. MMSC, primary CDR. Let's see what the eligibility criteria. MMSC score of 20 to 28. So in the other one, we had a MMSC score of greater than 22. So you can get a little bit more mild here in this study. And let's see if they have lumbar puncture. Because those are usually, in my experiences, the patients don't want to do the study if that's mandatory. Here it doesn't say anything about this. So.
no.
And the other one had, this the inclusion, exclusion.
It has an MRI and PET scan.
Yeah, PET scan.
They have PET scan
and this fluoride, right? This is we've actually, Dr. Al, we've had a study with this before, where they inject fluoride before the PET scan, and patients were worried that that's gonna cause damage to their. Is there any truth to this?
No.
No.
No. No. Anyway, PET scan, it is all for radioactive fluorinated medication. Okay, so it is all of it is the same now. Not going to be changing, but that's how it is, like, because they label it and they injected the.
Okay. So yeah, this would be actually a really good study to do if you're. Seems like, I mean, they need a lot of patients, so they're estimating the enrollment the enrollment completion till 2023. Wow. So you have a long time. Even if these sponsors, let's say you contact, like I said, Dr. Safarstein here, and she told me, yeah, Dan, here's the phone number of the study director. Call him. And I call him, and he says, hey, Dan, thank you for your interest. How did you get my number? I'm not going to say who I got it from because I don't want her to get in trouble. I will just say my PI was told by a colleague at a conference. I don't know. And then, so then they say, okay, well, we don't need sites now, but check back like in 6 months, because if enrollment is behind, maybe we're bringing on add-on sites. It's called add-on sites. So this is, you need to do a lot of follow-up with this.
And for Alzheimer's, there is a good chance that you can get the study as a backup site. Yeah.
And don't bother with this email from Eli Lilly. It's not going to give you anything about this study. But this is a good study. I would if you want an Alzheimer's study, look how many people you can contact to network with. And you can find, look, if we have time, look guys, I'm going to put this also on the Guru channel to show you guys how to, where was Sfera Stein? Let's find her. Florida.
I think she was also here, medical clinic.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to look for her. If, let's say I call and they say, oh, she's busy right now, take a message. I don't have time for this. I'll leave my message, but I don't have time to wait because they're never going to call me back. So unless I call every 15 minutes, they will get tired of me calling and give her the phone. But if I want to do it more polite, I just go to LinkedIn. Let's see if she's here. Yeah, see, she's here. Beth, and then I could add her as a connection and say, hey, you know, would love to network. Would love to network. I also do Alzheimer study. And then you never know, but if you do this all day, eventually somebody, maybe not Seferstein, but somebody will get back to me. And then I can get a contact for the study, or maybe she has other studies too that I'm not seeing here. So that's how you do networking. If you're a doctor, it's even better because now Dr. Saferstein doesn't want to talk to Dan. You know, they want to talk to Dr. Al better.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good study. Okay, so next study, TRX0237. Why is this one? What do you guys think about this one? Why are you interested in this one? The other one, I see why you're interested because it's an easy study, it looks like.
I thought this one was interesting because I was looking through many studies, and this was probably one of the only ones phase 3. Most of the other studies are either phase 1 or phase 2. This was one of the only ones that is phase 3, and they are looking for 450 patients. So.
Yeah. Almost as many as the last one. And this one actually started 2 years ago, so it's almost over. Well, probably was delayed a lot by COVID. You know, remember how I said this one, because it hasn't started, the previous one, check back in 6 months. Well, this one you should be checking now because we had COVID, we had a delay, and let's see how many sites they have. 156 sites. Look at this.
Yeah, I think they are adding new sites. Yeah, but I think they're adding new sites because if you can see, there are some that says not yet recruiting. So
and I know this site. I used to monitor this site here. ATP. So yeah, if I wanted to, I can like network with that guy. Hey, what are you doing? Let's give me that study. These guys are good too. So they have a lot. They have a lot of. Let's see in LA if you know any of these guys. See, these guys only put the company name of the site, not the doctor, not the phone number. So it's a little more secretive. Okay, but you can always Google CI trial and then you find who their PI is. So it's just another step. But yeah, you can contact, and I doubt they're going to have the sponsor contact. They even have in other countries. Spain, Poland, RX Therapeutics. They don't have a contact. But, you know, I mean, this is where you start getting into different kind of tools to biz dev. But what do you guys think about the science of this one?
It is, the other name for it is LMTM, and it is a second generation protein aggregation inhibitor for the treatment of Alzheimer disease and frontotemporal dementia. It is, so we have Rimaper, and this is the second generation of the Rimaper. So I think they're trying to find out more specific inhibitor for dementia.
That's this one, TRX0237?
Yes. This is like a second generation protein aggregation inhibitor for Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, yeah. Second generation. Okay. Yep. Is this interesting? Like for application for Alzheimer's, is it used for other things too?
No, I don't think so. I think because it is specific for Alzheimer because of the protein that is targeted.
Oh, okay. Change. Let's see what this one. Let's see what the inclusion is for this. PET scan, MMSE 16 to 27. So they don't want they don't really want severe Alzheimer. They want mild to moderate. 16. This is the lowest we've seen so far. So that's probably easier to enroll patients. Significant exclusion. Okay, that's the exclusion criteria. So yeah, this one seems straightforward, and no CSF, no lumbar puncture look like.
No, no.
That's the first thing we look for because I know the patients don't like that.
No, nobody likes anyone to poke in his body.
Yeah, but especially like a mild, like because this is mild, they're not gonna want this. You know, the mild patient, they're not gonna want that, and the family usually don't want that. Monica, what's your experience with lumbar puncture? The family usually doesn't like this, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so this was good because this doesn't have that.
It has an MRI.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it has MRI. I think it has MRI because they want to exclude brain trauma, traumatic brain injuries, I think. And then the last study, BAN 2401 with Biogen. Oh, sponsor ISI and Biogen. So ISI made Aricept, which is one of the standard of treatment for Alzheimer. I actually worked on the ISI study in 2006. My first Alzheimer's study I worked on. This one, they want 1,500, 1,600 participants.
That's why I choose this study for the amount of patients that we're looking for.
And they just started last year, probably got significantly impacted by COVID with their delays. Let's go straight to the location.
Yeah, they mentioned in page 3 that extension phase number of the participants with adverse events of clinically significant changes. That's why. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically, I wouldn't call this. Yeah, banner. Yeah, they're also masking the numbers, but you can just find this. So I would network with one of those sites. Let's see what the primary outcome. What's this drug about, Dr. L? BAN 2401. What is this thing?
I'm trying to find out.
Let's see. Apparently, this is amazing. You just Google that random number and it tells you exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Immunotherapy. Yeah.
Another monoclonal antibody. I think these monoclonal antibodies of immunoglobulin it's been having some success, and that's why a lot of companies are making up just a new medication.
Right, yeah, because I guess the beta amyloid, they tried that like last decade. It didn't work, so now they're trying. This is the second time we're seeing this monoclonal antibody. I think there's something with the tau receptor is like the new thing they're looking at with Alzheimer's. So this was let me go back to the study. This would be a good one too if you can get it. The sponsors ISI. So this is these two sponsors, okay? If you are a psychiatrist and you treat patients obviously in your office, okay? You're going to have sales rep coming in, bringing you sandwiches. Dr. Al, how many sales rep come visit you every day? Probably what?
One or
bunch,
two.
Right?
Yeah.
One or two every day. And they bring sandwich, coffee. What do they bring?
No, actually, these days there is not a lot of things. Like mainly they ask to see me and get just like about a new product or update on their product, and encourage the days of the sandwiches and gifts and like this are almost over, especially in the COVID. Even like But lately,
Oh
I've
yeah.
been doing these kind of on the phone through Zoom. Yesterday, I met with the BMS in regard
Oh
of the
wow.
new, with
Through
the
Zoom. Who wants
new.
to meet with a rep through Zoom? He can't bring you coffee.
It's okay. It's okay.
But look,
I know,
here's the point.
but they have the insight about the new treatment, and
Yeah.
it is like very helpful, and they can provide you with more information and slides and like this that can.
So here's something actually, Dr. Al. So I don't even think I told you this, but like when these sponsors come, like these big sponsors, but for example, this, let's say ISI or Biogen rep come and talks to you on Zoom or maybe in person, and you tell them, hey, I'm interested in this study. I want to talk to your medical liaison. Okay. Then the medical liaison is like the bridge between the sales and R&D, and they're the ones that actually will pre-qualify you for a study. And so they'll send their people from the staff,
Um,
and then if they like you, they give it to the CRO and say, hey, go activate Dr. Al for this study.
I know, but I've been doing it through the medical liaison and have not been having any success. Actually, I've
Has
been
anyone
having more
kept?
success. No, I've been having more success through your academy guys than through the medical liaison. No, I'm not joking. I'm
Well,
not joking.
of course, that's going to work better. But yeah, I mean,
You
the
know,
liaisons can work too, no?
no, no, they because they do not have like this much power. They will submit your name, and after submitting your name, they have no power. Yeah, they like you, they like them. You're nice
Yeah.
guys, they're nice people. Okay, and that's the extent of it. They cannot they don't have the power to push your site to be approved or not approved to a CRO.
Okay.
Do you as a CRO, and you have your connection directly to the company where they can list
Yeah.
your site. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and as I told you, I've been having like more success with you getting clinical trial, than getting it through the medical liaison completely.
That's amazing. I'm going to edit that part of the video and put it as a commercial on YouTube.
I'm not joking. Do it. I do it. If you want, we can go through Irene and do more like production about that.
Oh, I like it. The Clinical Scoop magazine, guys, it's coming out. You got to go to clinicalscoop.com. We also have the Clinical Research Circle with Monica and Dr. Al, where we help doctors set up sites. You know, right now we're working in Southern California, but eventually we will hopefully expand outside. But even if you're outside, what do we do with the ones outside of California? We
Zoom.
give them to DSCS. We help them. We help them. So
We have.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, look how many sites in California for this one. Okay, we got Fullerton, Irvine, LA,
Jeez.
Oxnard, Palo Alto, San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Ana. I know this site. I monitored there. St. Joseph and Santa Rosa and Sebastopol. I don't even know where this is.
I know. That's so
California.
right.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know where. We're gonna have to Google and see. We're learning everything on the Clinical Scoop. Where's Wikipedia? 1902 incorporated. Must be in Northern California somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, in
not
the
even
north.
that north. Just a little bit north of San Francisco. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, let's stop sharing the screen. So that's it, guys. I mean, 4 studies. We picked Alzheimer's today. We've been doing a lot of COVID. I want to eventually talk about some of these studies that we've been talking about. If we do this long enough, we could talk about the results. But we can find results too of other studies and discuss the results, because I think the results are equally interesting. Obviously, it doesn't help you if you're trying to do research. It's more exciting to talk about the new studies, but I think the results are good too sometimes. What do you guys think? You like this idea?
Yeah, of course. I would love to, especially this Alzheimer's study. I mean, that would be amazing.
You think Beth Saphir Stein will reply back to me?
You know why she shouldn't? You know?
You tell us next week, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'll follow up. Next week
Hey,
we'll have
follow.
her. Next week we'll have her on the show. We'll have her on the show.
For sure, she's gonna reply to you now.
Yeah, now I'm gonna show her the video. Hey,
Yeah.
we gotta get you on the show now.
We made you famous.
So that's good stuff, guys. I mean, yeah, it's a pleasure doing these scoops. Anything else we're missing? What's the commercial you have, Monica, for Circle? You're probably better with that than me. For Clinical Research Circle and for the
So,
scoop, we already told them, go to clinicalscoop.com, register your site profile. If you're a site, if you're a sponsor, register your sponsor profile. Look out for the Clinical Scoop magazine. And now, Monica, for the Circle, Clinical Research Circle, where we help investigators, what's the commercial? We have a call with one in 15 minutes.
yeah, we actually have it all. I mean, we have from A to Z, 360 degrees services. So anything you need, we even train you, the principal investigator, and your staff. So we have the whole service.
Good. Well, Dr. Al, thank you very much.
Thank you,
What do you
Dan.
think
Thank you,
about
Monica.
these? What do you think about these scuba things? You think they're good?
I think it's excellent. I think it's a way to introduce research for the community and to a physician community and try to help them in starting their own work there.
Yeah. Let's see what kind of traction we get.
We just
in the market.
started, Dan. We have not been like 3 months yet in the market. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
not
think
really. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
August,
just give it
so-
time. You're in a hurry. You want to do it. No, relax, Dan. Relax.
We do it little by little. We'll get the podcasts going. We're on podcast too. So if you're on YouTube, just look for Clinical Scoop on your favorite podcast, and we're there if you want to listen. But then you miss out on some of the screen share I show with the clinicaltrials.gov.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Raul. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Dr. Al. And
Thank you,
we'll
guys.
catch you all later, guys. Bye-bye.
15 minutes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.